Going green is the latest craze, and recycling is becoming more mainstream. Water is often taken for granted. Roofs that keep us dry and roads that keep us going catch this natural resource and push it out of our way, sending it rushing downstream as stormwater runoff, making floods bigger and droughts drier. Restoring the natural process of water recycling, where raindrops soak through the earth to form aquifers and groundwater reservoirs, or are absorbed by plants to be released back into the atmosphere as gas, can be as simple as doing a little landscaping.
This is a rain garden. It's essentially increasing the amount of water that would go in the ground as opposed to water that would run off the yard. This gutter allows water to either go to the rain barrel or to the rain garden through this mimicked creek. And as water runs over this, it'll allow water to soak in the ground. Eventually that water will work its way from this sort of mimicked creek bed into the rain garden. Water that sheet flows off the patio will make its way in the rain garden, and water that comes off of my neighbor's yard will make its way into the rain garden.
In addition to physically catching the water and letting it soak in, rain gardens get rid of turf grass, which has a shallow root system, and replace it with trees, shrubs, and flowers that have large fibrous root systems.
You could take up inches of rainwater by just having one tree in your front yard. And then if you surround that with a bed, a landscape bed that has shrubs in it, and then of course have your perennials in there. And you've got 3 sections there that are constantly absorbing the water.
When choosing plants for your rain garden, look for native varieties that like both wet and dry conditions.
This is 9-bark. This is Physocarpus ubiculatus. We like the cascading effect of this. It's much more relaxed. Butterflies love it.
Oh, I bet. And this is a good rain catcher.
Absolutely.
Because...
Well, it's got the big fibrous root system. You get more water uptake. But then again, you've got to have something that's drought tolerant. This has got the drought tolerance. With the trees, hands down, bald cypress. And people say, well, bald cypress, bald cypress has to be in a bucket of water. Look at Reelfoot Lake where they're growing up out of the water. Oh no, very drought tolerant.
River birch is another tree that loves to soak up the water. And don't forget to include some evergreens.
Because in the winter, when the deciduous trees are dormant, you still have a water uptake.
The goal is to imitate a forest ecosystem.
The reason you want to imitate a forest is because it's the perfect water management system. Forests allow water to soak in like a sponge, and they absorb the water and send it back up into the sky as a gas, both of which make floods smaller. When you reduce the amount of grass you have in a yard, you're automatically increasing the amount of water going in the ground and up in the air. And so you want to minimize grass. And so any edges that you can use around your yard that you don't need to play, you don't need to sit, you don't need to recreate, you want to mimic a natural forest.
Another good idea is to find ways to reduce the hardscape elements in your yard.
Well, normally when someone would extend a patio, they would just extend the solid hardened surface. In this case, we decided to make the patio leak, but to leak down. And so what we've done here is we've created void spaces between these natural stones. We're going to insert grass between them. You could also insert gravel. We chose grass because gravel is kind of hard to keep in place and it kind of messes up the balance of chairs and tables. So we're going to insert grass between the voids, which will allow water to soak in, not as fast as it does in a forest, but a whole lot faster than solid concrete.
When it comes down to it, conserving water is an opportunity to help the world. So take a look around your own yard and see if you can find ways to preserve this important natural resource. It's just another way we can all enjoy nature at home.